Hi guys, you have no idea how long it's been since I've recorded. And in fact, I've tried to record a few times before, but I didn't feel like I was going to upload it after I did it. I will keep this one short, and I'll try to upload more, and I'll try to get more used to talking to you guys. This is Aaron Klein, obviously. It's been a while. Since my last recording, I believe I've lost 30 pounds. It's been over a year, and just a quick understanding of what happened. My phone got dropped a couple of times, and it had some repairs, and in the midst of all that, the camera stopped working. Wow. Right? Like, that may sound like the smallest issue, especially since you're hearing me right now. So, here's the funny thing. Sometimes the smallest hiccups, the smallest obstacles, prevent you from doing big things when you can put them off, and then you keep putting them off, and then all of a sudden it's been a year. And that sounds kind of funny, like this is some small thing, but sometimes the more obstacles between you and the thing that you need to get done that you put up or that you let keep being installed will cause you to just not do the thing or procrastinate doing the thing. And I managed to procrastinate for over a year from posting. So, small life updates. Obviously, I lost 30 pounds. I'm down to 240 right now. Since the last time I uploaded, I have been promoted. I'm just going to say where I work now, so that way you know who I am. I am the main front-end supervisor at night at Kroger in Columbus, Indiana. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot to you unless you know who I am. And this is just like, I don't care anymore. I'm cool with people coming up and saying hi to me. I don't intend to be some sort of celebrity on the internet. And if I do end up being some sort of celebrity on the internet, I am cool with people coming up and saying hi to me at Kroger. I simply don't care. And there's a couple reasons why I am divulging who I am and where I work. I'm not going to tell you any of them, except for the fact that I do not wish to hide behind a screen anymore. I want people to be able to see me, and thankfully, you can't see me here because, like, it's ironic. Once I stopped being able to show my face, I let it become an issue to prevent me from uploading online. But now, people see me a lot in the real world, which is why I want people to see me anyways. So, if you live near me and you decide you want to come say hi, I'm okay with it. More life updates. Actually, those are the two big ones. I've lost more weight. I'm down to 240, and I've been promoted. And I've been promoted for a while, and I don't know how much more I'm going to get promoted. Oh, one more thing. I've chosen to rewrite parts of my book again. But now that I'm to the point that I'm at in chapters 8 and chapter 12, I am confident that I can finish those up, and then that'll leave me literally 2 chapters left. I will be literally down to chapters 10 and 11, but the issue is I haven't touched them at all. So pray for me that I, again, don't find any more ways to let life or the little inconveniences prevent me from finishing this book. And the reason why I say that is, first of all, these 2 chapters are pretty solidly in the bag, finally. I didn't like the way they were being written before, and chapter 8 I completely scrapped. And what I'm talking by completely scrapped is, I've had to reorganize the book a little bit, here and there, and then I had to completely cut out what I was doing on chapter 8. Just for context, I originally thought I was going to do like a Return to Jerusalem version of the book with regards to Jesus when he returned to the temple. I was going to throw out a whole carnival out of a lost city in dedication to Hestia. I'm not going into the details, but I ended up just cutting that completely because I found something better. I am skipping all the wrath of the gods stuff, and instead I'm going with something more sweet, something more like it will be bitter at the end. It'll be a bittersweet at the end, but that's sort of the goal of the book. Is there's a bittersweet message underlying all of it, and that leads me to sort of the short part of my message to you today. Well, there's two things. The first thing is you won't understand this right now, but it will be slowly more apparent as I roll stuff out. I am planning to start a new, I guess I'm going to call it sect of Christianity. And I don't mean that in a half-hearted way. However, I know I'm going to fail miserably. So part of my goal is to get married and have children, because I am a very, very flawed human being. And like that's part of the doctrine anyways. We're all very flawed. So I don't care. It's going to take generations to roll out, but I think that's better to do than to let one man guide a people. First of all, who's to say that I'm important enough to guide a massive amount of people out of the desert? I'm not a man from the time of Genesis, from the Epic of Genesis. I'm not a man from the Exodus period. I'm not any of the great leaders that the Jews have written about. I'm not Joseph. I'm not Moses. I'm not David. I'm simply Aaron. But my goal is to have kids, and hopefully they'll be able to fill out what I don't do. I don't know what to call it yet, but I will try to slowly roll it out. And the reason why I'm ready to say this is because I've been inspired by Malcolm and Simone Collins. I don't agree with everything they say, but I do think Christianity as it isn't it's one of its major weaknesses is that it has some conflicting worldviews at its core. Catholics see the world through a lens of man has fallen from God, and all men are guilty of Adam's sin, and we come into the world as sinners. And God made a perfect world for us, and we failed to meet that expectation. I don't know if this is the Orthodox. No, the Orthodox have a slightly different view. My view is, and this is more of the view that's been started by Jordan Peterson, but Christians are starting to flesh it out. The world is tragic, and God put us here, and we have each fallen short of His glory of our own accord. He gave us free will, so that way we may be able, like, the reason why He created a tragic world is that way our free will has a purpose. So that way we can fail to meet His expectations, and we have all failed to meet His expectations. And it is by His grace that He walked down on this earth as Jesus, His Son, as the truth and the way, so that way we may have a hope of eternity with Him. Like, that's my current phrasing of it, of the worldview I have. It's not perfect, and in fact, I probably could spend another 5 minutes. Probably could have spent another 5 minutes before this video narrowing down the language, but that's close enough for right now. But the important part that I came to talk to you about today is I wanted to give a small message, a piece of wisdom. that really needs to be heard today. And it's not anything life-changing unless it is. And that is that the chaos that is in the world today is not important enough for us. And what I mean by that is there's not enough time on this planet to worry about who our president, I shouldn't say who our president is. There's not enough time or energy on the planet for those of us who need to do great things with ourselves to fret over the worries that the matrix around us is trying to push. What I mean by the matrix around us, it's sort of the Orwellian matrix, as in the media and the government and the shadow government. I don't mean those in the way that in the same way that someone like a QAnon or a conspiracy theorist would say. I mean that in the way that that our government has been running for however long, a couple hundred years now, and it's got some old calcified portions of it that want to remain in power, and our government is seriously bloated and is thoroughly layered with this cancerous growth on it. And they are controlling the narrative around us. And I feel that the solution to all of this, to all of what is going on, for everyone who thinks that the world around them is crazy, the solution that you can start implementing yourself, and that you should suggest to everyone around you who you think might be somewhat sane, who's willing to look at evidence and come to their own conclusions that are hopefully similar to yours, is that you should just unplug. What I mean by that is don't open your phones unless you have to communicate with people. Stop using social media. Don't look for the next salacious news story or the next salacious thing from your favorite creator. Focus on you. Ask yourself, what responsibilities do I have? What things are failing in my life? Those are the things that you should be focusing on. You should find ways to fix those things as a solution to fill in the void that is created when you withdraw yourself from your phone. You will have withdrawal symptoms. And I mean this very seriously. Your phones and your addiction to the media is an addiction. You will have withdrawal symptoms. It does not matter that there was an illicit substance involved or not. The actual issue is that the amount of media we are receiving and the amount of good information we are receiving from those around us on social media is so massive that it is an illicit substance, and you need to disconnect, and you need to find the most important things in your life, and you need to work to fix them. And I'm being serious. There's two ideas here. One, shit has to get done. Stop messing around. Make a direct list of the problems you have to solve and the things you have to accomplish, and start working on them. And the reason why I can say this is because I have been a supervisor for the last 8 months now, and this is the mindset that I have to apply. There is a list of things I have to get done. I tell people, hey, I need you to do this shit. I need you to do it now. And I start knocking things off that list. Because by the end of the 8.5 hours that I am at work, whatever doesn't get done, I have to do. And management is getting pissed that there's overtime. Even though I don't ring up a whole bunch, I'm still running over. And if I let people do what they wanted to do, I would be there 2 hours over every night. Management would not like that, especially since that's running after 11. Anyways, I want to get home. I need to get rest so I can go on to the next thing. That is the first thing. Find the shit that you have to get done and get it done. And that means you have to start cutting out the distractions. You have to start finding ways to eliminate the things that are getting in your way. And one of the biggest things getting in your way is all the chaos around you in the world. And the easiest solution is to cut out your phone use. We spend so much time on screens that it is ridiculous. The average American spends something like 8 hours of their day on screens and only spends about 6 hours a night getting sleep. We literally worship our screens. So the fastest thing you can do to start fixing your life is to start eliminating some of that time and start spending it on identifying your problems and start implementing solutions. The next thing, and this is the more beautiful side of it, because I'm always a bittersweet kind of guy. The part that you're missing in the world around you, the things that you need to work on, the most important things, you're missing them. Like, really, they're beautiful when you start solving them, when you start solving your issues. Your family life will improve when you start interacting more with your kids. Their lives will improve because they won't be making the same stupid decisions that they've been making because they've been on the phone and on their computer all day, and they've been spending time with the wrong people. The solutions are all right in front of you, and your life will be meaningful and things will get better when you start taking responsibility for yourself, for your time, and for your family. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but that is close. I think the way I wanted it to come out is, this life is beautiful, and why do you keep letting it go by? Why did I keep letting it go by? This is more of a, hey, why are we losing so much value in our lives? Why are our kids not doing so well in school? It's all tied together. You have to be responsible for yourself. And there's not enough time to worry about what the next person beside you is buying or what they show you that they've bought. Because oftentimes it's just for show. There's so much prestige going on in the world. There's so much style. It's all a waste of time to be scrolling through. And it hurts. And I find myself doing it a lot, and it stopped me from getting my book done. There were entire weeks where I wouldn't touch my book, and I'm thankful that I would put my book down, because I wouldn't have gotten to the point where I'm at, where I see the finish line of two of the hardest chapters I've had in a long time, because I just left my book down, and I waited, and I waited. This wasn't intentional, but I don't know if this stuff would have formulated if I didn't wait. But at the same time, I didn't need to wait as much. And I think that each of us knows our faults. We know what we're failing to do. Like, even if we don't know it off the top of our head, if we stop and think about it for 15 seconds, they'll start popping out at us. There'll be big fireworks in our brains, and they'll just pop out. What have I been failing on in my life? You sit and you think, and you'll be like, and something will come up. Whether it be, wow, I haven't talked to my wife. I haven't had an honest, long, formal conversation with my wife, or meaningful conversation with my wife in 2 weeks, because I've been so caught up in work. And then something comes to you. Oh, it wasn't just work. There are 16 waking hours of the day, and we've just managed to intentionally miss each other for at least 8 of them. Because, well, at least 6 of them, even if we account for all the driving time between work, we've managed to avoid working with each other and speaking to each other and having a meaningful conversation and reminding ourselves of why we chose the other person for at least 6 hours of the day. And it's because we let life become habitual, And we chose the wrong habits. And it's going to take effort to try to fix that. And thankfully, at least we can find out the things we need to work on, so we can use, when we start eliminating the screen time, or you know what, it's even better than that, or worse, however you want to put it. At some point, those things will become so important you won't have time for the screens. At some point, you won't, for me personally, I don't turn on my phone at work, period. It does not come on unless management tells me when I walk in the door, hey, you need to get Fresh Start done, which is one of our online training apps that we have on our phones installed. I don't have my phone on for anything except that. Period. It does not turn on until the end of the night when I've clocked out. And I still don't do much with it outside of that. I probably spend at most 3 to 4 hours of screen time period a day, and half of it I don't even have the screen on. I have something playing in the background when I'm going walking or doing chores. When I'm on my computer, if I'm not writing on my book, I have something that I'm listening to. And it's because I'm trying to build myself to be a better person, to understand the world better, because I'm trying to change my life and the lives of those around me. And this is your opportunity to do that too. The world is more meaningful than you want it to be, and the reason why it doesn't feel meaningful to you is because you've chosen the wrong things to invest your time into. There's just simply not enough time in your day, in your life, for you to be doing half the stuff you've been doing. This was supposed to be a 10-minute video. That was way more strict than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be out of love. And the loving message is we're missing life. And most people are doing it unintentionally because they're just filling their time with what's in front of them. When in reality, like, your life would rapidly change overnight when you just unplug. I'm not interested in politics anymore because I've just seen there is so much in front of me that I have to get done that there's not enough time to worry about who's running for office, who said what. I don't care. When Donald Trump got shot the other day, that was news to me. That was just like, whoa, why is politics so outrageous lately? And that's when it hit me. There's a lot of people in this world that are so furious about who's in command, and I'm just going to be honest about some political stuff. I don't trust Donald Trump a whole lot because, really I do. The issue is I trust him to be narcissistic and belligerent and to be easily manipulatable because he's got too big of an ego. And I think Joe Biden has been demented for the last 5-6 years, and we've all just pretended for the last 3 that he's been capable of running the presidency. And when he came onto the debate stage with Trump, I heard about 2 minutes. I was just like, he hasn't been running the country. Someone else has been. He isn't able of keeping words together to form a complete sentence. If it's more than 5 words, the 6th one probably won't be in the same sentence, and then he'll just keep going on in a different sentence. And it's so crazy that people think that we have a functioning government. We clearly don't. We clearly have a couple of battling interests running our government, and we don't even have a president right now, and that should horrify people. And we just don't have time for all of this craziness. The people who actually should be running the government aren't, because they're out running companies. And that's like one of the scary thoughts about Donald Trump. Like, he is more equipped to run the government than the majority of the politicians on this planet, because he got so busy running companies that he didn't stop to think about politics, and now he's going to have that mindset to run our country. Like, that should be horrifying too, because he is not a good man. I'm still going to vote for him because, like, there's nothing, like, all the other options will send us to hell. And I think we're already on the way to hell. When Donald Trump got shot at, we are lucky that he didn't die, because there would have been that would have been a civil war immediately, but now he's a living martyr, and I have a feeling, my suggestion is just go watch What If All History's channel. Some of his most recent videos have talked about what's been going on with America lately, and watch the stuff on his Civil War. I think his most recent one about asking if America's going to have a Caesar next, that could have happened if he got killed. I don't think that's going to happen now, but I'm still very concerned about politics. I'm very concerned about the people around us who are so entrenched. Like, it is a religious fervor at this rate, and I'm very concerned. So yeah, you should watch for more updates on this channel, and I hope I can change my upload habits, because every year is not a good idea. Every month is a lot better, but it is not nearly good enough. Once a week may be a lot closer to what I want to do. So hopefully I'll see you around next time. Peace.